So.
I really thought
Alright, you're live.
we're live. I really did. I thought.
I don't know her.
There's more questions
at all,
coming in.
So I guess for me, it's been monthly good for you.
I got you.
Alone, I don't respect and she respects me because she knows I know my business, but this doesn't matter. I think she can just.
Bruce, I'm looking at this now. I wonder if it's just that we acknowledge getting it?
Well, there was a 2080E agreement that she didn't attach the whole copy of that.
So yeah, maybe we better ask for the whole, read it before we.
And I don't recall I don't recall getting it, or seeing it, so.
What's this for?
I have a pair, unfortunately, but
I can go back through later on today.
I was
I'll go
gonna
back to
search
my
email
stuff.
from her too and see.
Yeah, see if there's one there.
all of a sudden, it just stopped. One was unclosed, one's description, and now they're closing. And then that's almost.
There's Tracy, we're live.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, one and all. Morning, Tracy.
Well, can I get a motion to approve today's agenda?
Make a motion to approve today's agenda.
I will second that motion.
I will call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bulls, aye.
Okay. Something that's fairly quick. How about the minutes?
I did read 3 sets of minutes. I didn't see anything.
What's your motion?
I'll make a motion to approve. Do we want to,
I'll list out the 2 sets
Okay.
from July 1st and then June 27th.
okay, approve minutes from July 1st, 2 sets, and June 27th, 1 set.
Read them as well. I saw nothing that needed to be corrected, so I will second that.
Okay, call for a vote on the minutes.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bulls, aye.
And number 5, I think you guys saw that email was brought to our attention that motion got left off for that resolution. We did it, but when I typed up the minutes. So since that's already been published, I just need you guys to authorize a correction to the June 17th minutes so I can include that action for that resolution. 25, 40, 37, or 47.
47.
Yeah, I'll look. So then if we, 2547 it is. That way I can go back in our official book and put it in there. And it'll be noted in the minutes today.
After it was discovered that there was a resolution left off the June 17 minutes, make a motion to correct those minutes and add in number 2547 to complete the minutes. It was voted on, it was just left out.
Okay.
I will second that one.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bulls, aye.
Barb?
I'd like to set a land use hearing for Jeremy and Stacy Koopman for Tuesday, August 5th at 9:15.
I have somebody make a motion to accept the date hearing for Jeremy and Stacy Copeland.
I would move to set the land use hearing for Jeremy and Stacy Copeland for Tuesday, August 5th at 9:15.
Second.
Okay, call for a vote on that one.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bull's eye.
Thank you.
Barb. Okay, let's go to number 6, the good one. Discuss and approve the claims.
Whole bunch of stuff in there.
Yep.
Ow.
Annual quarterly report.
Oh, yes.
You can look at that one. Any questions on the claims, anybody?
My only question was, we have 2 payments going to Tice Automotive for 2 new vehicles. And I know we had one that was bent up from a deer head. Just kind of wondering if that was replacements or what we got going on there.
I do not know. Can you shed some light?
Yep, let me pull them up and see. Just give me a second. It's not posted because we haven't approved it yet. Just, you're gonna look in the back there. Okay, those are both for vehicles, for the 43,990,
Yes.
2 vehicles. Not repairs. So those are when he come back in, he got those bids. The end of last fiscal year, it was like April.
So it's the last of the 2.
Yes, I believe
That's what
so.
I thought.
Yep. And he had to wait for spending authority on this fiscal year.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we don't know how the accident one's coming out yet.
No. I know we got the 2 bids for repair, but
Yeah. Okay.
what insurance is gonna decide on that.
Good. Got any questions there, Bruce?
No, I keep looking at the expenses like the medical examiner, 2,300, and it's just like, is that,
That one was like if they have, so it's different reasons. We pay our investigators and Dr. Meeker a certain fee, no matter what, when they go to a call.
okay,
And then depending on the type of death, if it needed to have an autopsy or whatever, sometimes we have to pay to transport the body to Des Moines. And then we get invoices for, sometimes it's pathology or it's just the autopsy fees. So every case is an individual basis. So
okay.
go to Iowa, you
Yeah.
have to cover those expenses.
And then IT, it seems like every time we look at these, IT's got a bunch of stuff, but we got it, I know it's a necessary evil.
Well, and
but-
some of those Tyler software ones, so some of it is like first part of July, it's a new fiscal year.
So that's.
So a lot of them were paying,
Okay.
just kind of like our yearly agreements.
Yeah, and I, and I'm not doubting it, it's just like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
man, you see that stuff and it just.
And then that time and attendance, like the new payroll,
Right,
we did add on a couple parallel ones just because we wanted to double check both ways. So that'll be coming as well.
yeah, that was one of the things that jumped out at me, other than the fact that it's a lot lower this month than it was last.
But the Tyler Technology one, that's every department, like treasurer, recorder, auditor, we all use that software.
Right,
Even
right.
though it comes out of IT.
Okay,
Covers the whole county.
gotta have it,
Yep.
gotta have it. I would make a motion to approve the claims.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bull's eye.
And I see there's no ARPA claims.
Nope,
We should be
that
good.
should be dwindling down other than the second half of that rescue vehicle and, might be some cement work and the clock. That's
I'd say
only,
that's about all the money that's left.
yeah.
Melinda. Your report,
Yeah,
I didn't print it off.
you did? Let me go, I can go
I
make a
print, there's one of them in there, just this
Okay,
small
I don't-
portion.
I did not have it.
otherwise I can go for it. Last part, you can interrupt.
Did I give you the treasure one, or did you not? You had emailed it.
She emailed it. I didn't print it,
I'll go. Courtney down there.
Possibly,
Okay.
I would think so,
Okay.
or, DHS might.
Okay.
Well, we'll jump down like she printed some copies, that was my fault, I guess I should have printed them.
Well, no, I did, but she was tweaking something yesterday.
Sheriff's report, quarterly report, that we got. You want a little time to look through it yet?
Just take a minute, I'm just down
Okay.
to the receipts, I read the first
Well,
one.
I guess the other thing is, we can jump on, is the resignation.
Do you have just one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a copy of it.
Okay.
Thanks.
You can pass this one,
Here, you can like, I will pass that one.
or you can pass Melinda's around, just take your time. Do you want me to talk about number 12?
Right now, I got Jennifer's,
Oh, okay.
Bruce knows about it. And
Yeah, there's a copy of the letter in everybody's
Yeah.
folder.
so can I get a motion to accept Jennifer's resignation from the landfill and also for the Civil Service Commission?
I will make a motion to accept the resignation from Jennifer Zrodnik from the Benton County Solid Waste Commission and the Civil Service Commission, effective July 1, 2025.
I'll second that.
Okay, call for vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bull's eye.
So that's something you guys are gonna have to look for the appointments on
Yep, she's our appointment.
Yep.
both of those, yeah. I don't know if you wanna put something out there or just word of mouth.
I've looked through the sheriff's. It's a big one. Wonder if Dave's tired of signing his name on weapons permits. There's been a bunch.
Yes, I seen that.
Let's go to Haley, or who gets this one?
I get the
Haley
original.
will get it after, if you're done with it, we'll do that one right now, the sheriff's quarterly report. So,
I'll move to approve the sheriff's quarterly report.
I will second.
okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vols, aye.
That's again an initial two.
Just initial
Yeah.
top.
Yeah. And there's Melinda's report too.
Oh, okay, thank you.
She printed a copy off. Thank you. So, any questions on the treasurer's semi-annual report?
Looked at that last night, no questions.
Okay.
I have nothing.
Can I get a motion to approve her report?
I'll make the motion to approve the semi-annual report from the treasurer.
I'll second.
Okay. Call for a vote on that one.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vols, aye.
Derek,
Yes, sir.
we have some insight. I had an email early this morning that they were gonna try to get a hold of you on the pipeline.
Yes,
Have they gotten a
so-
hold of you?
Not yet, just given, cause like, I looked at it yesterday, sent you all that email. I know like, he called like right at the end of hours yesterday, and so I missed him. Tried calling back this morning, left a message, and so hopefully I can touch base with, their attorney, maybe this morning, hopefully at best, and discuss some of the, concerns, or like some language and stuff to like, to benefit really both sides, to help each other out, so.
Well, to me, there's nothing pressing that, because the pipes are still laying there yet.
Yeah.
There's no diggers there yet. The last I heard, the contract hasn't even been given out yet to anybody to do the digging.
Yeah, I guess I was wondering, I was like, oh, I didn't know this was, going on, and, that was another question I was gonna have, is when was the start date, or
Start date, they were hoping for was July 15th.
July 15th?
That
Okay,
ain't gonna happen, realistically.
probably not.
So I will make a motion to postpone or table this till next week
Yeah,
until you guys get together and iron this out.
sounds good.
I feel there's no hurry to sign this.
No, and, you know, I even just in here, I'm reading through it again, and just to make sure there's other stuff that we can discuss, so we can cover everything in one telephone call, where, yeah, so,
Okay, can I get a second? To table it?
I'll second the chair's motion to table the contract with the ISG group for the
Okay.
gas line inspection.
All right, I'll call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye?
Vols, aye.
There you go. And Kaylee, can you put that on the agenda for next week again?
Yep.
Okay, number 12.
So with, you guys approving that MOU last week with the DAP and all that, obviously I'm gonna need some spending authority to pay those salaries and withholdings out of that fund, so.
Okay,
Just didn't know how soon, if anybody else needed any budget amendment. I mean, I try to hold off as long as I can. My goal would be to September, but we didn't plan for any of that. And
you
it's,
should have enough in there.
we had enough to carry for the accruals because like this first payroll of July,
Right,
is so we had a little bit in there, but it's not gonna get us that far. For the salary portion, there was like 30 something.
I took my headset with me and I went out the front door.
But like, we also have that indirect cost, so there's other fees that I have to still pay for mental health for the region, so, aside from all that.
There basically wouldn't be anything on the wage part.
There was not, we didn't plan for anything in the wages and withholdings, so.
Well, we're gonna have to fix that.
So, yeah, I thought I'd,
Well, you could throw some figures together, because it's gonna be the same as what she's been getting.
yes, but like the health insurance and all that, so,
Mhm.
because that's still gonna go through us and we're getting reimbursed, right?
Mhm. Correct.
Per
correct.
month,
Yes.
Every 2 weeks, the way I got
so
it.
every pay period.
Yes,
They're
from
gonna,
Lynn
Then
County.
they're gonna pay that.
we
Yeah,
issue the check and Lynn County pays it right back.
Okay.
Like we work for the watershed, for the fiscal agent.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I'm gonna probably check with all department heads, just, you know, this is the time of year where something might have got overlooked. Make sure nobody else needs any kind of an amendment, and then maybe I'll maybe set the dates next week. But I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that that's definitely a need, so.
but you should have enough left over there to get by the month of July, right?
Yeah, I'm okay with it right now,
Yeah.
until we start paying those other ones,
Yeah.
but.
So, set it up for 29th of,
Because I have to
July?
publish in the paper.
yeah. Today's the 8th.
That'd be too soon.
That's too quick.
I would say like maybe August 5th.
Okay. So
Do
you
like
wanna
at
make a
9:30?
motion to get this set up so you can get this in the paper starting now?
Yeah, because I have to, actually I have to publish, I have to figure out
Yeah.
what the amounts are. And
We need a motion on this?
Yes.
yeah, let's go with August 5th, and if I have to change that, I'll do it next week, but that should work.
Okay. I would make the motion to set the public hearing for fiscal year 26 budget amendment for August 5th
At 9:30.
at 9:30.
I have a second.
I will second.
Call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bull's eye.
All right, thank you.
Budget.
After you give her spending authority, then she gets spending authority on nothing.
Hmm?
We give you the spending authority, you get the spending authority on nothing. No money.
Myron.
Donald Berger has been running the telescope at secondary roads for the last year quite heavily. This union contract breaks down the operator of that piece of machinery for less than 2 months out of the year, a year experience and 2 years experience. Donald's been in that intermediate mode for the last year, recommending that wage increase to the 2-year rate. That is $30.13 per hour, and then his wage classification will change from a VE to a VG.
That's all in your union contract?
Correct. And that resolution, or that is in the form of a resolution, and based on where you're at right now, it'd be resolution number 2559.
Can I get a motion to approve resolution 2559, wage clarification for Donald Berger?
I will move that we accept resolution 2559 for the labor grade classification for Donald Erger to, is it VG,
Correct.
for $30.13 per hour.
I'll second that motion.
Call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bull's eye.
Like the UG.
You want yours signed, Myron, or they have the numbered ones? You want to pass 2 of those and sign them?
What does that mean?
Roman numeral 5.
Okay.
G is what I believe.
It's just something that gets out in the contract. Okay. I didn't know if it was a specific.
I got enough paperwork.
Okay.
It's amazing how the world revolves.
What's the ongoing saga with the light?
Just before I came this morning, one of the mechanics had just gotten off the phone with tech support. And for whatever reason, the lights were programmed when they were sent to us to be working with a sensor. The sensor would activate the lights. You can short through that so it'll just flash the whole time, is what I just learned, or you can go buy a sensor and have those lights just come on when a vehicle is sensed. But that's what I just learned moments before I walked in here.
Okay.
I don't know how that affects the battery life on those, but my assumption was that they were gonna be blinking nonstop.
Okay.
And it sounds like we can short through that.
Well, if you short through it, will that void the warranty on the thing that didn't even work to begin with?
They sent us a different unit or
Oh, they
whatever.
did?
Yeah,
So it'd be on all the time?
yeah. And I got the feeling, the way Doug was explaining it to me, is that that's an easy way to work around that. I don't think it affects the warranty. It just
Okay.
uses the battery life more. And now I
Yeah.
don't know if that is significant, that if 4 cloudy days in a row would cause a problem. I'd like to think not, just because this is one of the top manufacturers of those type of units, that they take into that, and that battery life without solar recharge probably lasts a pretty significant amount of time in between recharges.
In other words, you'll be getting it up pretty soon now, hopefully.
I can do that. I can say DOT has got a little pushback at the moment with whether that needs to be up there. Because of the current changes that the DOT made at that intersection, they're questioning whether that's really necessary.
We're flipping the bill for it.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of school traffic on that. I'd say the more we can do, the better.
Their thoughts more are on the stop ahead flashing than the stop sign.
Which we have though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
We just got to cover both ways.
they're on the side of caution.
Yep.
My idea.
Agree.
And I see they're going to town at the Atkin corner.
Yeah, it looked like this morning they're ready for base rock is what I thought. Looked like everything was cored out and ready for rock. Could likely be on, stay on schedule even with this morning's rain. I think they're wanting to pave next
We
week.
didn't have nothing. I didn't even have enough what side.
I poured pretty good at 6:15 at Walford as I was leaving this
Really?
morning.
Didn't even what the sidewalk.
And the Belle Plaine blade operator said he had 2 tenths this morning in that quick shower.
It looks like Benton, I know coming up here, the 2 dirt roads, there's water standing on them coming up here.
It was
Evidently you guys got more.
raining pretty hard here in Vinton, what, quarters 7 to 10?
Okay. Any
That's all I
questions?
got.
What'd you get, Dave? You had rain up there this morning?
No, I had a beautiful motorcycle ride all the way down here, and I could see the road start to get wet as I got down here by Benton. And then we,
Thanks, Myron.
Yep.
I got onto a gravel road, rode a couple miles of gravel too, and that got quite a bit, so had to be a little bit slow. That's why I was a little late.
Weather report?
Just a little bit.
Okay. Reports last week.
Just our public meetings last week. This Friday, I have county health.
Yeah, EMS tonight.
EMS tonight at 6
You'll see.
in the EOC.
Good,
I had a quiet week
good, me too.
tonight, and I got Heartland, I'll be going to Tama on Thursday.
Unfinished business. Can't think of anything. Public comments.
You want something in light of recent events with the floods? Where do we stand county-wise of rethinking how things are done or handled for letting people know about flooding after watching all this stuff in Texas? Have you guys thought anything about that at all?
That would be Dean Verbo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do exercises and stuff, and I know they practice for scenarios like that, but he'd be the one that would generate that. Dean Verba.
Who's that?
Emergency management.
Yep.
Okay.
Dean and then Verba, VRBA. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
I've got just a little bit. I went to Mount Auburn last night to their council meeting.
Wait a minute, hey, we also got, there's some watering, some of the bigger creeks around here, have them, it catches the flow of the water of the creek that gets recorded in Dean's office too. I believe there's 5 of them here in the county, the bigger creeks. So it ain't like somebody's gotta watch the water, see what's going on. He can catch it on the computer.
Okay.
That was put in.
Is that the USGS did that or no?
What's that?
Did the USGS do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Was
Yeah.
after like.
And I can't even tell you, I'm thinking there's one right south of town, right next to the bridge, that you can't see off of 218. I'm thinking there's one there, but you can't miss them, they're around bucket, you know what I
Right.
mean? It's been long enough now, and it's been dry enough the last couple of years. I lost track where they all are. Okay?
Yep.
Now I'll let you go.
Sorry about that. Well, I just went to Mount Auburn last night, and they called me to come down there, and they got their mayor is a highway patrolman, and he was having an issue with the sheriff, and the sheriff's on highway patrol, and I don't know. In my life, they've never gotten along a lot, but I like David. He's a nice guy. I met him. They just hadn't budgeted for their increase, and the thing that I thought was pretty amazing was when you looked at the price, it was a bargain. I don't know how you can have a cop runway over there for, geez, I think it was like $30 and then went up to $60, which I thought was incredibly fair. They hadn't budgeted for that, and I can't believe their budget is very big. It's, you guys are more familiar with Mount Auburn than I am, but it's such a little community. It's smaller than the mobile park, and they just have trouble with their budget. They just thought maybe it'd be nice if they could just have as many hours for this year until they could figure it out until next year. And I said, oh heck, it'll be a nice ride. I'll ride down here and see the Board of Supervisors. And I didn't have any. It's just tight for them right now, and I don't know why. They didn't get into their budget that deep. But I told the highway patrolman, I said, do you have a highway patrol car? Well, it's a slick top. I said, that's no good. I said, if you had your highway patrol car with your lights on it, you probably wouldn't have any crime in town anyway. And then I said, why don't you just take all the calls? And he goes, well, we'll try to a little bit, And so I looked through some of the things, and that's all. That's where I'm at. If they could just cut half the time for 1 year, or it's up to you guys, it's up to the sheriff. I'm just down here to give a little pitch. And when it's a town of 120, that's not many people. So that's all. I thought the prices were fair. They thought, and talking with the highway patrolman there, I don't know why he was so against $65 an hour for a police officer with a car and a gun and all the other stuff. It seemed fair. They just didn't budget for it this year. They'd like to just cut down maybe if they could just cut their time in half, or whatever they were gonna do. That's for you guys to talk about. It's just, I said I like to go down there anyway, it's a nice ride for me, it's about 45 minutes, even though I got a couple miles of gravel this year, I mean, this morning. So, that's all, I just came down here to talk to you guys about that and see what you thought. But I thought that was very reasonable to have a cop show up with a gun in a car and maybe a dog for $65. I'd have paid that at my mobile home park, but I mostly did all my own police in there. And the nice thing about a mobile home park compared to a community is I can throw people out. So that's the difference. That's all I have. I didn't have anything else. I like to come down here. So, like I said, it was a beautiful morning and I was behind the rain and talked to them last night. I'm always glad to go talk to the communities. That's all I got.
Okay.
I'm a out of towner. I'm from Blackhawk County. I work for Senator Joan Ernst's office. I know Supervisor Tippett, we've met before. It's almost hard to not say sheriff, but I know I just wanted to come and sort of see how things are going here in Bend.
He was a regular stop.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We
Come in
had
and visit. for
extended
the-
conversations about law enforcement, lots of other things. So I just want to, I'll pass on my contact information if there's anything we can ever do. Feel free to reach out.
Yes, we're done. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
I will second.
Call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
King and I.
Bull's eye.